Asmongold and the trash taste backlash has broken Hasan Piker. Well, if you ask me, good. A little TLDR or context. Hasan Piker went on the podcast Trash Taste with all the boys, Joey, Connor, Giga, however you pronounce his name, and they got a lot of hate for it, which is like justified. Whether you like him, whether you hate him, whether you listen to politics, whatever your stance is, certain words, certain things you say and do, it's just kind of evil. And this person, Hasan Piker, is for the most part not in a very good light. He has very interesting takes. Let's just say that. But for some reason, he was on Trash Taste, the podcast of the boys, for the most part, really engaged with drama. They really do not like that stuff. They are literally, I don't know why I dislike the video, oops. But they generally are just, you know, they just talk about anime and shit like that. But today we're going to be watching my man Rev says Desu, supposedly Hasan Piker, I'm assuming responded or something like that to all the backlash, which is hilarious because, you know, he usually thinks he's better than all that stuff. But we're going to see what he says today. So
today we're going to be talking briefly about Hasan Piker. Now, I think everyone
Hamas Piker
watching this video is aware of his long history of unhinged takes.
Yes.
However, I believe some of this rhetoric has definitely increased over the past week or two.
Yeah, and people are going to say people like Nuxanor or Nuxtaku help make or do this, which is probably true with his 100% all the way up to 150% of Hasan Piker being fucked.
Because his most valuable currency,
I can see that.
Ego, has been threatened by two events. And they're both relevant to the type of topics we talk about on this channel.
Would it be Asmongold supposedly being a bigger political streamer than him, which is weird because Asmongold doesn't only do political stuff, and that's like Hasan's whole point of existence? And would it be the fact that he's actually maybe slowly going to start losing partnerships with certain people because of all this backlash? I'm not sure.
As well, in his own words, his dethroning as the top political streamer.
Which is weird because he's still the top political streamer technically. Asmongold does way more things in political content.
Now, when I say increasingly unhinged takes, I'm more saying the frequency at which he makes these unhinged statements.
It's like every day, every video, he has like 50 of them. At first, I thought it was just like clips that I saw that were bad, similar to how like Speed was looked at as from his clips. That's like some freaking weirdo. And then recently, it hasn't been that bad because he's getting older and stuff. Clips are clips. But I've seen actual streams with this guy. He's interesting. That's all I can say. He's interesting.
His immediate response was talking about things, including his idea of having a terrorist propaganda tier list live on Twitch, which obviously if he did that, he would face no punishment. In fact, you'd probably get a special cameo, another birthday song from Dan Clancy.
Yeah, which is actually insane. Like, and it's funny that they even had him on the podcast. Like, again, I do watch their stuff. I'm not just reacting to it or just talking about it because it's popular. I actually watch Trash Taste. And in the video, he literally, within the first like 5 minutes of the damn Trash Taste video, I think I can probably even just show you.
Yeah. This sounds like the fucking...
I don't really want to look through a whole hour video basically, but you can watch it yourself if you really want to. But basically the first like 5 minutes, he already has to catch himself and or Joey and them have to almost like stop him from talking about something that's too political immediately. Like I just find it insane that he was even.
So what am I talking
podcast.
about? Well, this is the clip on social media. Let's give this a quick.
Insane.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
Yeah, see, at this point, it doesn't matter if he's right. It doesn't matter if he's wrong. It doesn't matter if this Rick guy is evil. If this Rick guy is so evil that what he is saying is justified, then he should be getting prosecuted and put in jail. Not a streamer like Hasan sending out literal violence and threats to the guy. That doesn't matter who the person is. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're inciting acts of violence, you're just wrong. It's as simple as that. You're as wrong as the person you're talking about. And then his chat's going, I mean, I'm okay with that. Yeah, yeah, kill Rick. Right. Unhinged. And he won't get banned for that, which I'm not a streamer. I don't know no rules or anything like that, but I would assume inciting completely word for word, inciting violence against another person, it is wrong. I would assume that it's wrong. And if you were doing it, you were wrong, no matter who you are.
Normally that would get you a knock on your door from the FBI at the very least, but I think everyone
not for Hasan.
And also what makes this even more hilarious is the fact that not even a year ago, he made a similar threat to another.
I encourage people who get stuck behind the pro-Hamas mobs blocking traffic, take matters into your own hands to get them out of the way. It's time to put an end to this nonsense.
So he has a history of doing this. And like I said, right now, I want to look at the two events that I think are kind of making him spiral because his ego is being challenged in ways that don't sit,
because he's finally starting to hit the numbers on his paychecks. I'm assuming all the shit he's just been saying and throwing out there, all the propaganda he's been spreading and all that that bullshit, I think it's slowly but surely actually affecting him for making content. Because for him, I'm assuming he was seeing everything as bad publicity was good publicity, or any publicity was good publicity. But currently, I'm assuming it's beginning really, really, really bad. Maybe he's like losing sponsorships or partnerships or whatever. I'm not sure, but
he went on as a special guest to this
which
Trash
is
Taste
crazy.
podcast.
It's still crazy.
And as you can see, people reacted very, very negatively to this. And as I said, I respect the boys who run this podcast.
Yeah, I love watching their content. I really don't. I don't. It's their content, right? It's their podcast. They can do whatever they want. But for them who are so neutral when it comes to all the political stuff and the stuff that's going on in the world, like if there's shit going around in your life around you that you want to avoid, you just put on their podcast, bro. You watch that shit in the background, and they just be talking about, I don't know, anime girls or some shit like that, or what's popular, or why they hate Attack on Titan, whatever. But they bring in the literal dude who has been on the bad lights everywhere. That is just crazy. I can't say that enough. That is insane to me.
How people would respond to his appearance as
not
a special.
even. That's not true at all. If you go to the end of their damn video, right around here, let me see if I can find it.
Crazy?
Watch. Like around at the end of the video, they already knew it was going to happen.
I feel like this time is less controversial that I'm on. Now that I've been on one time, they're used to it. So it'll be fine.
We'll still get we're about to see.
See, they already knew. It's in their video. They already had an idea that they were going to get the backlash and everything. And again, from what I know, I can't really talk for them. You can watch their content. You probably know more than I do if you follow any individual person here. But they, for the most part, avoid all this stuff completely. The people, the things around the people, whatever. They just avoid that stuff. They're just in their own world in Japan, living their life. But they knew that this was going to happen in their video. It was not an accident.
5 comments.
It was not a secret.
Few negative comments.
Exactly.
I definitely don't think they expected 99% of the comments to be negative in regards to the choice of special guest. Now, I don't think this is fully a criticism of Trash Taste. I think this is more of a repudiation of Hasan Piker.
As simple as that. As a Trash Taste viewer, I don't care about this Hasan stuff, and I don't really want to keep seeing it. I don't like the guy or necessarily hate the guy, but he seems pretty damn, like, if the word is evil, I guess you could use, he kind of does, and I don't want that near me. I'd rather just watch a chill podcast while I'm at work, not have political shit thrown down my throat about this dude even more. Like, you know, that's what I'm assuming most people felt like.
A part of, and they are making it very well known in the dislike ratio there. And also, overall, that also was the result after he begged his own community.
Hasan Miles while reading hate comments from his. Oh yeah, he supposedly sent his community to the video to, I'm assuming, make it like get more likes or positive comments or whatever, and it still ended up with 70,000 plus dislikes. Goes to show how much people truly hate him. Because I bet you the 20,000 likes are probably from his community, or at least a good majority of them are. But it didn't help. It didn't help. It did not help at all.
And we get it, right? Like, everyone who's on the internet and has some level of controversy attached to them, which I would say applies to pretty much everyone we're talking about today at some level. You're going to deal with people who are going to make viral tweets hating on you and things like that.
Yeah, which is also true, but he literally brings it onto himself. Quite literally, he's like the class clown, but in this case, he's just saying almost basically racist, or I don't know the other word, just horrible things to just, I don't know, shock people. I don't know.
But I think it's a little different when your mere presence on anything will draw a ton of negativity, and that's what's going on.
I think it's worse than even Andrew Tate. And that's saying something. Obvious.
Now, that's the first event I'm talking about here. I want to get to the second event, and that's, of course, the Rat King himself, Asmongold.
And it's funny because Asmongold has been avoiding fighting with this dude, at least directly. For the most part, he's been not necessarily nice, but he has been very fair to Hasan from my point of view. But Hasan just keeps poking him like he wants the battle to go on, as if there's like some spot of the political top streamer that Asmongold has been trying to get, or some shit like that, some inner hatred Hasan has for Asmongold. I don't know what it is.
The top political streamer, because it's not the only thing that Asmongold does. Well, it's still a good portion. It's not the only thing he does. But yeah, to Hasan, this stuff matters. The numbers matter. The labels matter, because it's, attached to his ego. I think that's very obvious.
Hasan blames Asmongold for the rise of right-wing sentiment permeating throughout the streaming world, which is insane because isn't Asmongold just like a fence sitter for the most part? Like, I think recently there's been a lot of things that's been kind of right-wing, but like when Trump or Elon does something bad, he generally calls them out. Like with the whole Elon Musk faking the game shit or whatever, faking the gameplay for Path of Exile 2, he called that out completely. He said that shit was just dumb. It was retarded. It was not called for whatsoever. And when Trump does bad shit, he kind of just he says it just like that. If he was truly trying to make right-wing sentiment amazing or high or rise or whatever, I feel like he would ignore that stuff, or maybe he just wouldn't even cover it. But he covers everything, whether it be left, right, middle, black, blue, green. He covers everything. So that's really a lie. It's completely a lie.
If there wasn't such a high density of hogs that were like literally looking desperately for some kind of hog content on Twitch, which led to a massive amount of people gravitating towards Asmongold, and Asmongold.
That's not even true. He's just saying shit out of his ass and having his community talk. They say the same shit back to him in a little room that they all agree on. I'm an Asmongold viewer. I don't care about the political shit. I just think that when you have common sense, it just makes sense. There you go. I don't know what else to say. He said shit that makes sense, and when he says shit that doesn't make sense, then there you go.
He's at first implying that people are only speaking out on certain things and criticizing certain things and sharing certain opinions because Asmongold basically made it okay and they want to grift.
Which is like the complete opposite of Asmongold's content. If there's 15 things, no matter if it's left, right, middle, or blue or gray, Asmongold will watch all 15 things and give a general same opinion for all 15 things. But that's not the same for people like Hasan. If he likes 5 of the 15 things, he would only watch and react and talk about those 5 things. He'll leave the other number of things somewhere else, acting like it doesn't exist whatsoever. But that's the reason why people watch Asmongold, because he watches everything. He reacts to just about everything. There is no specific internal reasoning for it. If it catches his attention, if it's something that's popular, if it's something he can actually give his 2 cents into, there you go.
Half a decade or so, cancel culture has been a real thing. If you had wrong think or you criticize the wrong thing, your life could literally be over. And now that sort of phase is dying out and people are finally speaking up.
I can agree with that. I've recently seen a lot of creators, Asmongold and Nuxenor specifically, the only people I know of that have technically been canceled, and they just get bigger. I actually thought the word canceled truly meant you were just done for. That's just what I've always seen with most content creators. They just give up. They're making a big apology, whatever. But when it comes to people like Asmongold, they kind of just keep it pushing, and then they make a video about the video canceling them, and then they get bigger from that video, and then they make 3 more videos about the backlash of the video. Yeah, see, like it opens up a new world for a lot of people, and they go, this whole cancellation culture is kind of dumb. It's retarded. It's not even real for the most part, unless you're just like a literal criminal or some shit like that. And even if you are, sometimes that doesn't even matter. So
especially right now is because his opinion on things is not right wing or left wing or anything like that. It's just common sense. It's the type
just
of opinion
common sense. Fucking gets it, bro.
That through his views, I mean, every video getting around 1 million+ views on pretty much every political topic, he's proven that a lot of these opinions are popular. And I think that has emboldened people not to grift off of that, but to think, oh, I can actually share my opinions on things, and this is actually popular right now, and I'm not going to get a brigade of people trying to cancel me and ruin my life.
Yeah, because like the one thing about Asmongold is that his chat, you can literally see it. You don't gotta take my word for it. Just go to his stream one day. When he says something, right? Say if it's a popular or whatever topic. If he says something that they don't agree with, they say it right then and there. His chat can be completely against him Monday, and it can be completely with him Wednesday. And that's the reason why you watch him. It's like his chat isn't some type of hyper whatever chamber of just people that agree with him. If people disagree and they have a legitimate reason, he will hear it out for the most part. And so sometimes he even will change his mind depending on if the person is truly having a different opinion rather than just being hateful or whatever.
In this scenario, and like it or not in this particular situation, but the general population voted for this sort of stuff. And, you know, again,
most people still find like it's like not real. Like they're dumb, they're retarded. They really think that it didn't happen. They think it is some the people that actually voted don't exist or something. The regular Walmart Americans probably don't even care about half this stuff, which is why they probably voted for people like Trump to actually make a change, I would assume. But you know, they just forget about those people.
we're talking about
For a lot of people, it's not like a genuinely held perspective. For many of them, they just don't care. It comes from a place of like, I don't really give a shit.
Which is true. I don't give a shit. But he sounds crazy. All the clips and videos I see of Hasan, oh my God, he actually sounds like he's out of his mind. I don't know. Sometimes you can say things for rage bait, or you could be clip farming, or you could just be saying something you think is shock value. I think he would be the type of person to actually go to these places where terrorists are, pick up a gun, and help kidnap people. And I think that's a really big allegation or whatever to say, but I truly feel like it wouldn't be that far past him to do. Is that wrong to say? I think it's wrong to say that, but from the stuff I see, it's pretty bad.
in this race for the top position of political streamer on Twitch, which is a lone race because Asmongold doesn't even care for the label. But again, with this whole general population label he's giving,
it makes it even funnier every time I hear that statement. Asmongold will post 3 videos about like some Trump thing or whatever is happening in New York, and then he'll make a video about Monster Hunter, which he probably is doing that right now as we speak, I promise you, or whatever, you know, like that is insane. You know what, we can literally just see it ourselves. I'm gonna say that into you, Asmongold. Let me go to Asmongold, go to his YouTube, right? Political, something about him. Monster Hunter, 16 hours ago. Not necessarily political, but let's say political, okay. Political. Game, political, game, kind of political, mostly game, but political, game. You see my point? It's not all political. And this is within 4 days. Like, what the hell?
You right now
Man,
on all
this is
these
crazy.
things. I think a lot more people are agreeing with the takes
he's
that
butthurt.
Asmongold has.
He's
because,
just butthurt.
again, versus around 700 dislikes. That's roughly a 98% like-dislike ratio
And
on a very
currently,
controversial topic,
already-
directly
I turned it
talking
off.
about
Shit, I bet.
wanting to make the city a sanctuary for transgender and gender diverse people. And this
Of
is what we were
course.
talking about. And then Hasan was upset about some comments that Amaranth, of all people, made about this.
She in her own words said that I'm pretty sure I'm quoting this correctly, but she said that she believes that the people in this little protest, whatever hearing thing, should have died in the California fires. Which, as I just said in the beginning of this video, it doesn't matter if you like this person. It doesn't matter if you don't like this person. It doesn't matter if they are actually annoying, if they're a little bit crazy. Once you incite violence towards them, you're worse at that point. You are not a criminal, but at that point, you're borderline getting to that point. Whatever you just said is wrong. If you're inciting violence against another person, you're just wrong. Like you can't do that. So it's against like the law, usually against the platforms that you're on. You are not right for that. It does not matter how much you don't like them. You cannot do that. It wouldn't be okay for them to do it back to you.
And first of all, if you're listening to anything Amaranth has to say about pretty much anything, you've already kind of lost.
Yeah, the OnlyFans girl, right?
I'm sorry, am I taking too long pleading for my life?
You remembered how many children I have and that 2 of them are trans.
I speak as both the B and the T in the.
It's like these people, they just want to belong. I don't know what else to say about it. It's like they want to put a label over their head so they can perfectly belong in a group where they feel the same as other people around them. It's against the point where they don't even know what they want. They just I don't even know. It's just sad.
I'm multiply disabled. I have Ehlers-Danlos.
It's like they just go there, they see the list of problems, and they go, yeah, I identify with 2, 7, 9, 13, and 17. That completely makes me perfect.
Which is a connective tissue disorder that causes me immense physical pain.
Right.
I'm on the autism spectrum.
Right.
And I have narcolepsy. And
right. They're saying it like as award points. Like she's sitting there holding, I'm crazy. I don't know how to talk to people. They're insane.
So I had to hide from my driver that I was in drag, which is not an easy thing to do in drag.
I do not want to be here. It's my day off.
You could have just left and stayed home if you truly didn't want to be there. But
I do not want to be in your DMs. I do not want to be in your email inboxes. I do not want my creativity writing diss tracks like.
What is on their face? No, what is on her face? I'm not. What is she trying to look like? I'm confused.
Kendrick,
I'm very
I
confused.
want to spend an hour.
And not the person behind him laughing. Actually, the person right here. I'm assuming she's not laughing in agreement. I don't think so.
Applying glitter on my face so that you will hear and see me.
You guys literally made her put that glitter on her face. But anyways, this is an example of the type of clip you show 90% of people in the world and they'll be like, yeah, that's weird.
They're crazy. They need help. They're crazy. That's simple as that. They are. But it doesn't matter how crazy they are. It doesn't matter how weird. It doesn't matter how different. It doesn't matter. You're inciting violence against them makes you way worse than their little weird tactics and things that they're trying to do over there. You can't do that. It's wrong. And Asmongold, for the most part, doesn't do that. If anything, he does a very general justice belief for just about everything and everyone. So I don't know where that came along, that Asmongold is inciting people to see clips like this and then incite violence or wish violence upon these people, because that is not the case whatsoever.
It looks like a blue sky meetup. Okay, these people are unhinged.
It looks like a
these
Reddit
are the type
meetup,
of people
actually.
calling you a bigot and a freak on social media, right? But that's what we're talking about here. And this is Asmongold's coverage of that clip that is being referenced in this entire situation. And you can see how people viewed his opinion that is basically stating this is a clown show, right?
It looks like
And
one.
I think people agree. 81,000 likes, 500 dislikes. That's a 99 plus like-dislike ratio on 2.5 million views, by the way. So this left the ether of the monolith of Asmongold's followers. Clearly, a lot of people agree that this is outlandish behavior. And I don't think this is some right-wing extremism. I don't think Asmongold is influencing anyone. I think he's speaking a commonly held belief about stuff like this.
And if he wasn't, people would know. Like, it's not like it's a secret that he's trying to say things that only certain people can catch, and he's brainwashing you. He says what's common sense. Simple as that. I feel like, as he just said, you can show 100 Walmart Americans that probably don't know nothing other than getting money for eggs tonight. They will probably agree with what the shit he says. Simple as that.
Okay, this is a clown show. You show this to a regular person, they probably agree. And that's really all there is to say about this, because we also see how deep this goes. He is directly blaming Asmongold for causing all this radicalization. The irony, by the way.
Why they're saying
This is, in many ways, no different than when Elon Musk hits the fucking Sig Heil, other people do it too, and it normalizes that kind of attitude. It normalizes that kind of politics. And it's precisely the same thing that's happening here, okay?
I don't really have much opinion on that. I really don't think he was trying to do that at all. Maybe I could be wrong, but Elon Musk just seemed like a very awkward dude, and that's not trying to protect him whatsoever. I don't even like the dude necessarily, especially with the whole gamer shit he was trying to do, trying to get into our communities, acting all high and mighty, buying accounts and all that shit. That's dumb, but that's besides the point. I think it's just really interesting that the news articles and people and political guys or whatever are all focused on Elon Musk making a certain hand movement or whatever, rather than shit that like kind of actually matters. You know, like they're all avoiding the shit that he's like uncovering with all like the freaking fraud and shit, but they're too busy focused on where his arm was placed or whatever. I just find that insane. And they're using the
Asmongold
they're
says
using
a
the
bunch
words
of
like this
unhinged
way
shit,
too
and he's
loosely.
popping off. Other content creators see that, as I've told you before, and they respond to it. They see that and they go, ooh, I can get in on this as well.
So what he's saying is content creators like Asmongold are normalizing unhinged behavior and normalizing very dangerous things people are saying. Let me just remind us of where we started this video.
about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone. No.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
That's how we started the video.
Right. If anything, Hasan is doing the very thing that he's accusing everybody else of doing. Because it's funny, because once Asmongold sees the video that Amaref made, he will probably say the things I just said. That is wrong. You're now inciting violence against these people, and that is not good. That's against the law. It's not a good thing. You're wrong for that. You will not be on that side, even though he agrees with the fact that those people are kind of weird. They're a little bit crazy. They're saying things they probably shouldn't say. A lot of people don't believe in the things that they're saying, but it doesn't mean that you should have this violence against them or wish death upon them or wish that they burn in the California fires. That is just crazy. That is not common sense. That is not the general public opinion on them. That's crazy. That's insane.
Okay, we're not even getting into the terrorist sympathizing and the platforming of terrorists and the comments about 9/11 and all these crazy unhinged things that literally go on a list that's so long it's hard to keep track of what's going on.
At this point,
but yeah, this
right?
is the person angry at you for normalizing what? Looking at a very bizarre scene and saying, yeah, that's a bunch of weird people. I don't know. There's really nothing else to say on this situation. Two real pain points for Hasan that have struck his most valuable currency, which is his ego, of course. And that's the Trash Taste podcast situation that has only gotten worse for him. And then, of course, getting dethroned as the top political streamer.
Which is still insane. That's all the content that he makes is political shit and saying unhinged shit like inciting violence against certain people like Rick Scott here. And yet he's losing the war that no one else is even going against him in. Technically, it's insane. He's quite literally losing a battle by himself
on Twitch, which is
it's
clearly
impressive.
two things that have
I actually find it impressive.
But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for the refresher, just showing just how much this guy Hasan Piker is crazy. Honestly, I think it's well deserved that someone with so many unhinged and crazy takes is finally getting what he deserves, karma. And again, I don't like Hasan, but I don't wish him death or physical harm. He just should probably not be in the spotlight anymore. He doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, deserve to be there. He has some crazy takes that people do not believe in necessarily. He keeps getting pushed up by the social medias and the platforms that he's on, just making him bigger and bigger and bigger. Because if I were to say things that he has said word for word, at being a small and random guy that I am, I would be gone. You would never see me again. I would be banned. Simple as that. Like it's crazy that he thinks Asmongold is doing these things, and honestly, I don't even actually believe that he does. In reality, he's saying this stuff kind of indirectly, basically directly picking a fight with Asmongold to keep his relevance. I think that's the whole point, in my opinion. But that's my 2 cents for the video. I think it's just dumb. Asmongold is in the wrong. Maybe I'm biased. I do watch a lot of Asmongold, so that could totally be the case. I tried watching some Hasan Piker to see his perspective. It just made the things that I believed even more true. So, you know, that's my take.